Okay, in the earlier theorem, what we say, if cap R is a commutative ring with unity, if cap R is a commutative ring with unity and U is an ideal, then U is maximal if and only if U is prime. Okay, so in this theorem, we have to put the concentration on the nature of the ring. So here ring is the commutative ring with unity. It must ante U is maximal if and only if U is prime. If we want to do existence of this condition, then whenever R must be a commutative ring with unity. So what is the main role of this commutative ring with unity? If we lose these two conditions, what is the contrary of this statement? How we get the contrary of this statement? ఓకే, ఒకవేళ కాంపిటేటర్ విత్ యూనిటీ అనేది లేకపోతే దీనికి ఎటువంటి మనకి ప్రాబ్లం అనేది వస్తుంది, అది చూసుకోవాలి. ఓకే, సో ఫర్ దట్ ఇఫ్ వి కన్సిడర్ సపోజ్ సెట్ 0 బార్ 2 బార్ 4 బార్ అండ్ 6 బార్, సెట్ 0 బార్ 2 బార్ 4 బార్ అండ్ 6 బార్ ఈజ్ ఎ రింగ్ under addition and multiplication modulo 8. Suppose set 0 bar 2 bar 4 bar 6 bar is a ring under addition and multiplication modulo 8. So here we are going to explain the need of a commutative ring with unity to the statement of U is maximal if and only if U is prime. Okay, if we want to having U is maximal if and only if U is prime, the necessity is the nature of the ring. What is that nature? The ring should be a commutative ring with unity. Okay, if the ring is not a commutative ring with unity, then how we get the contrary of this statement, maximal if and only if prime? Okay, for that, see an example. Suppose at 0 bar 2 bar 4 bar 6 bar is a ring under addition and multiplication modulo 8. మనకి U is maximal if and only if U is prime ఉండాలంటే R కంపల్సరీగా కాంపిటేటివ్ విత్ యూనిటీ ఉండాలంటున్నాం. ఒకవేళ R కాంపిటేటివ్ విత్ యూనిటీ కాలేకపోతే, R కనుక కేవలం రింగ్ మాత్రమే అయితే, ఆ మ్యాక్సిమల్ ఇఫ్ అండ్ ఓన్లీ ఇఫ్ ప్రైమ్ ఆ కండిషన్కి మనకి ఎటువంటి కాంట్రడిక్షన్ వస్తుంది, దాని ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం ఇప్పుడు చూస్తున్నాము. సో హియర్ సెట్ 0 బార్ 2 బార్ 4 బార్ 6 బార్ ఈజ్ రింగ్ అండర్ ఎడిషన్ మాడ్యులో 8. Okay, let capital U equal to set 0 bar and 2 bar. U equal to set 0 bar and 2 bar. Next, U1 equal to consider 3 ideals which containing U. Okay, U1 equal to set 0 bar 2 bar and 4 bar. U2 equal to set 0 bar 2 bar and 6 bar. Okay, here capital U is an ideal. Here capital U is an ideal. Okay, next what about U1 and U2? U1 equal to set 0 bar 2 bar 4 bar. U2 equal to set 0 bar 2 bar and 6 bar. Okay, so here U1 is not an ideal. U1 is not an ideal. Why? Because for 2 bar comma 4 bar belongs to U1, the first condition of ideal, what is maybe A minus B belongs to U for all A comma B belongs to U. This is the first condition of ideal. So for U1, for 2 bar comma 4 bar in U1, 4 bar minus 2 bar, 4 bar minus 2 bar, that equal to 2 bar. Okay, పోయింది ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తనింది అక్కడ. Okay, in the earlier theorem we see if capital R is a commutative ring with unity and U is an ideal then U is maximal if and only if U is prime. U is maximal if and only if U is prime. Okay, so here capital R is a commutative ring with unity, then U is maximal if and only if U is prime. That means if we want to existence of this condition, then the ring capital R must be commutative ring with unity. Okay, What happened when a capillary is not a commutator ring with unity? Capillary is only a ring, but it is not a commutator ring with unity, for example. Then what happened? How we get the contradiction of this statement? U is maximal if and only if U is prime. If we want to existence of this condition, then R must be, whenever R must be a commutator ring with unity, it must. Okay, then what we get if R is not commutator ring with unity, or capillary is commutative but not unity, then how we get the contradiction of this statement? Okay, let's see it by an example. Consider a ring set 0 bar, 2 bar, 4 bar, 6 bar is a ring under addition and multiplication modulo 8, for example, suppose. Now consider three sets. U equal to set 0 bar and 2 bar. Set 0 bar and 2 bar, clearly it is an ideal. Okay, what about U1 and U2? U1 equal to set 0 bar, 2 bar and 4 bar, and U2 equal to set 0 bar and 2 bar comma 6 bar. Okay, in U1 we have 2 bar and 4 bar belongs to U1, then 2 bar minus 4 bar equal to minus 2 bar does not belongs to U1. Next, for 2 bar comma 6 bar, 2 bar minus 6 bar equal to minus 4 bar does not belongs to U2. So from these two conditions, from these two sets, the first condition of ideal, what is the first condition of ideal? A minus B belongs to U for all A comma B belongs to U. This condition existed for any two elements of capital U. Okay, so in U1 if we take 2 bar comma 4 bar, then the difference 2 bar minus 4 bar equal to minus 2 bar does not belongs to U1. In the similar manner, the difference of these two, 2 bar minus 6 bar equal to minus 4 bar does not belongs to U2. That means the first condition of ideal is failed. Therefore, U1 and U2 are not ideals. Not ideals. Okay, so here U1, U2 are not ideals, but if we observe, U is contained in both U1 and U2. So here U is a subset of U1 and U is a subset of U2. 0 bar, 2 bar, these two elements are existed in U1 and U2 also. Therefore, U contained in U1 and U contained in U2, but here U1 and U2 are not ideals. If U1, U2 are ideals, then U is not maximal ideal. When we say an ideal as maximal, it does not contain any other ideal. If an ideal which does not contain in any other ideal, then that ideal is called maximal. ఒక ఐడియల్ ఇంకొక మిగతా ఐడియల్స్లోకి సబ్సెట్ కాకపోతే అప్పుడు దాన్ని మ్యాక్సిమల్ చెప్తాం. ఓకే, హియర్ U is contained in U1 and U2, but here U1 and U2 are not ideals. If the U1 and U2 are ideals, then U is not maximal. Okay, but here U contained in U1 and U2, but U1 and U2 are not ideals. Directly, clearly U is maximal. U is maximal ideal. Okay, already directly U is not prime. U is not prime ideal. Okay, so here U is maximal ideal, but U is not a prime ideal. It exists only when, why? Because here we take the ring as set 0 bar, 2 bar, 4 bar and 6 bar is a ring under addition and multiplication modulo 8, but in this ring the multiplicative identity, that means unit element 1 bar is not contained in this set. Okay, what we said earlier, if a capillary is a commutator ring with unity, then only U is maximal if and only if U is prime ideal. But here the unit element 1 bar is does not contain in the ring. That means here ring is without unity. That's why the maximal if and only if prime condition is failed here. So we take an ideal which is maximal but not a prime ideal. So if we want to having the condition U is maximal if and only if U is prime, the nature of the ring, that means the commutator ring with unity condition is a must. If any one of commutator ring with unity is failed, then maximal if and only if prime condition also failed. Okay, that is the main example. Okay, now come to the definition homomorphism. From the starting the definition of the ring and up to the prime ideal, we discuss about some several kinds of sets only. Now here we are discuss about the functions. We are discuss about the function. First of all, before going to the definition of homomorphism, what is a function? If we want to define a function, we have two sets. We must have two sets. Okay. For example, two sets, capital A and B. So A is called the domain and B is called the codomain. The codomain and F is a function. So if we want to define a function, it must have domain and codomain, two sets. Okay. Here also we want to define a homomorphism. Here homomorphism is a function. Here homomorphism is a function. So here we are defining a function small f. Okay. Generally, as general, if you want to define a function, the function must have two sets. What are they? Domain and codomain. Here we are discussing about a ring theory. We are taking the both sets, domain and codomain, as rings. For example, capital R is a ring, R dash is another ring. But here, no need of these two rings having same binary operations. There is no need. Okay, R is a ring with some binary operations and R dash is another ring with other binary operations. It may be, no problem. There is no need of having both having same binary operations. No need. Okay, R lo R dash on same binary operation rasina avasaram em ledu. Okay, so here suppose capital R is a function or suppose capital R and R dash be two rings. So a mapping small f from R to R dash is called a homomorphism. It must satisfy two conditions. What are they? F of A plus B equal to F of A plus F of B and F of AB equal to F of A into F of B for all A comma B belongs to capital R. If these two conditions are satisfied, then we say small f is a homomorphism. Then small f is a homomorphism. So come to the definition. Let small f is a mapping. Suppose small f is a mapping from a ring capital R, from capital ring capital R into a ring R dash, into a ring R dash. Then f is called a homomorphism. F is called a homomorphism if first one f of A plus B equal to f of A plus f of B, and the second one f of AB equal to f of A dot f of B, that means into multiplication, for all A comma B belongs to capital R. Okay. In the group theory, same concept is there, group theory. But whereas in group theory, for example, if f is a homomorphism or a function from a group G dash to G dash, for example, G comma plus G dash comma dot, for example, you say, or both plus. If G comma plus and G dash comma plus are two groups and f is a mapping from G to G dash, then f is called a homomorphism if f of A plus B equal to f of A plus f of B. Only one operation, only one condition is there. If both are groups under multiplication, then we say f is a homomorphism if f of A dot B equal to f of A dot f of B. We use only one condition, either this or this, according to the definition of the binary operation. Binary operation but ఇది గాని ఏదో ఒకటే వాడతాం. But here both conditions are to be satisfied to call a function as a homomorphism. ఇక్కడ ఫంక్షన్ హోమర్ చెప్పంటే రెండు ఉండాల్సిందే. Why? Because here domain and codomains are rings. If you want to say a non-empty set as a ring, there must be two binary operations, plus and multiplication, or any other two binary operations. So that's why we are using two kinds of statements, f of A plus B equal to f of A plus f of B, and f of A B equal to f of A dot f of B for all A comma B belongs to R. If these two conditions are satisfied, then only we say a mapping as a homomorphism. Okay, so here if we observe f is a homomorphism, domain and codomain, Kepler and R dash are two different sets. Okay, so that means if here R2, R dash, two different sets, F is homomorphism. F is a homomorphism. Okay, if F is homomorphism, F from R to R, here what you observe, domain and codomain is same set. Okay, if domain and codomain is the same set and F is a homomorphism, then F is called a monomorphism. A monomorphism. Okay, if F is a homomorphism, okay, sorry, it is an endomorphism. Okay, here F is a homomorphism, but here domain and codomain are same set, then F is called endomorphism. F is homomorphism and F from R to R. Here also domain and codomain are same. It may be further different, not maybe they are same. And F is 1 1. If F is 1 1, so F is 1 1 homomorphism, then F is called a monomorphism. F is called a monomorphism. If F is homomorphism and F is onto, F is onto, so F is onto homomorphism, then F is called an epimorphism. F is called an epimorphism. And here F is a homomorphism and F is 1 1 and onto. So here F is both 1 1 onto and homomorphism, then F is called an isomorphism. F is called an isomorphism. So here in endomorphism, domain and codomain are same set. In monomorphism, epimorphism and isomorphism, domain and codomains are different sets. But in all these conditions, F must be homomorphism. Okay, so F from R to R is homomorphism, then F is called endomorphism. In endomorphism means it is homomorphism, but domain and codomain are same. F is called monomorphism. F is called a monomorphism when F is 1 1 and homomorphism from R to R dash. So here domain and codomain are different sets. Next, F is called epimorphism. F is called epimorphism when F is onto homomorphism. F is onto homomorphism from R to R dash. And here F is an isomorphism. Here F is an isomorphism where F is 1 1 onto. F is 1 1 onto homomorphism. All three conditions are existed, and here also F from R to R dash, two different sets. Then F is called an isomorphism. Okay. Here last one, if F is isomorphism, here F is isomorphism from R to R. F from R to R. So domain and codomain are same sets, but here F is isomorphism, so is called an automorphism. F is called an automorphism. So in all these definitions, in endomorphism, in automorphism only domain and codomain are same sets. In endomorphism and in automorphism only domain and codomain are same sets. Whereas in monomorphism, epimorphism, isomorphism, domain and codomain are different sets. Okay, so once again, monomorphism means F is 1 1 homomorphism. Epimorphism means F is onto homomorphism. Isomorphism means F is 1 1 onto and homomorphism. Okay, don't forget it.
Right.
Okay, next comes to the theorem based on the homomorphism. So F is a homomorphism from a ring Kepler into R dash. So since Kepler and R dash are rings, 0 elements must be there. Different rings for that. So 0 and 0 dash be the 0 elements in Kepler and R dash respectively. 0 element is a 0 is 0 element in R and 0 dash is the 0 element in R dash. Then we are going to prove these three conditions. F of 0 equal to 0 dash, F of minus equal to minus F of A, f of a minus b equal to f of a minus c f of b. So see, if you see, observe the first condition, f of 0 equal to 0 dash, what it means? If f is a homomorphism, so in any homomorphism, 0 element is only mapped to the 0 element of other set. That means that the codomain. Okay, na? Only the 0 elements are mapped together. Only f is whenever only f is a homomorphism. So f is a homomorphism, then the 0 elements and the both sets are linked together or mapped together. This is the first point. Okay, and the next one is f of minus equal to minus f of a, and f of a minus b equal to f of a minus f of b for all a comma belongs to R. So the proof we will see in the next concept, next video. Okay.